Hey guys, it's Christian. Welcome back to my channel. So, it is the beginning of April and I'm sure that plenty of y'all have gotten your blue envelopes. So I just want to start off the video by saying congratulations to Spelman 23 and the AUC 23 in general. So shout out to Morehouse 23 and Clark 23. But I got the idea to make this video because one of my friends who is a part of Spelman 23 needed help trying to weigh her options between another great HBCU and Spelman. So I made her a little list. I thought that it would be beneficial to share this list with y'all just in case anybody is trying to make that decision, because you have about a month or so before you need to submit your enrollment deposit. Hopefully this video will steer you in the direction that you want to go in. I think I'm gonna get started with the cons, and this is not to bash Spelman at all. Like, I love my institution. I think that everybody can agree that the #1 con of attending Spelman is the tuition. As of right now, it's like $53,000 a year to attend Spelman. Spelman definitely has that #1 HBCU price tag. On top of that, Spelman doesn't really give out a lot of institutional scholarships, so a lot of people have to rely on outside scholarships. You have to be really on that to get some money. So a lot of times you'll find that people end up leaving before the year is complete or even the semester is complete. It's really sad to see people with like 4.0s leave because they can't afford it. Another con I would say is that Spelman can be a little bit overwhelming, and this also goes from person to person. It just depends on how you are. You'll find right off the bat that there's this Spelman woman ideal where basically you're involved in everything and you have this stellar GPA and you're just like basically a superwoman, and I don't think it's intentional. In fact, I do think that they try to stress that everybody is different, but still, like, you just see so many examples of seemingly perfect Spelmanites, and it can just be very stressful, especially your freshman year of college when you don't really know like the ins and outs of college and how it goes. Freshman year is your adjustment period, and it's okay if you fumble a little bit. This next con might be at any HBCU, but I put that things can be made a little more difficult than they need to be in terms of like financial aid. Sometimes you really just need to get some information, find out if your paperwork is all right, but people don't want to answer the phone, or you're kind of given the runaround. You're just passed from one landline to the other. You definitely have to have some patience with that. If you have everything together, then there shouldn't be an issue, but like, nobody's perfect. The answer's right there, but you just have to go all over the place just to get what you need. Depending on the type of student you are, this next con might not bother you that much, but Spelman is very academically challenging in my opinion. I've been seeing a lot of tweets and stuff talking about how it's harder to get an HBCU, and I wholeheartedly believe that after completing almost a full year at Spelman College. So if you're accepted and you're planning on coming here, do not think that you'll be able to cruise through your freshman year, because no. My last major con is the location. If you know anything about HBCUs, then you know most of the time they're in the hood. They're like in more urban areas. It's just not aesthetically pleasing driving through the West End. It's not the fault of the AUC at all. It's just how the neighborhood has evolved over time. And a couple minor things that I put on the cons list is that there's no AC in the freshman dorms. So if you're accepted and you do the whole housing thing and you get anything other than LLC 1, then that's no air. I started off in temp housing, which had air conditioning, so I haven't actually experienced some hot weather and a no AC dorm, so I'll be experiencing that for the next month or so. A lot of people say that that doesn't make up a huge part of their experience. If you think you can live with it, then it should be no problem. And then I also put that the prereqs in college can be very annoying. Spelman does want you to be a well-rounded person, so you have to take all these other prereqs, but then that also kind of ties into one of the pros of Spelman, so we're just going to transition into that. I think the #1 pro that every Spelmanite can agree on is the sisterhood. The moment you walk through those gates, you automatically feel like you are a part of something. Everybody that is on this campus is here for you and to build you up as a person, especially if you come from a background of going to a predominantly white school, not seeing a lot of people who look like you. You just have this sense of belonging and that you're meant to be here. You don't feel singled out. Don't get me wrong, it can be a culture shock being around so many black people, especially if you're not used to it, but it just becomes one of the most natural things ever. You just find that everything does not have to be explained. For instance, you know those awkward sleepovers where you're over a non-black friend's house and you pull out your bonnet and they just start asking questions. And that just never happens here. Like, you could literally walk all across this campus in a bonnet. I don't suggest that, but you can. And nobody will say anything to you. Another pro of coming to Spelman is that they make it easy for you to get ahead. In my case, I took like 12 AP classes in high school, and when I graduated I thought I did all that for nothing. People were talking about how their schools weren't accepting the college credit, so I'm like, dang. It turns out that I brought 28 credit hours from high school. By the end of last semester, I was classified as a sophomore, and then by the end of this semester, I'll be classified as a junior. I really do like that. Unlike other colleges who make you take all these classes, Spelman does give you a way out. Also, coming to Spelman, you will have a lot of opportunities to gain connections, and the first little layer is through the Alumni Association. You'll find out that Spelmanites are literally everywhere all across this country. You just know that no matter what, you have a big sister in every single career. So if you have a question, all you really need to do is reach out to somebody. And Spelman also does have a lot of opportunities for you. If you want to study abroad, they have plenty of study abroad programs. There are plenty of internships that come through Spelman. All you gotta do is keep up with your email. And Spelman knows how expensive it is, so there's always a scholarship opportunity, usually outside scholarships, that they will put out for you. If you are a religious Christian person, Spelman has a great church community. It seems like every service that I go to, I hear exactly what I need to carry with me throughout the next week. You can just come as you are. I didn't really mention it in my other pros, but Spelman is so connected to Morehouse and Clark. More so to Morehouse, you just feel like you're part of this community of Black excellence. Spelman is definitely a bubble and you're in these gates, but I would definitely encourage everybody to get off this campus and go to Morehouse and Clark just to see how close everything is. I am a firm believer that the school you attend does not define you at all. I told Brooklyn that wherever she ended up, she would do just as fine. And that's the same message that I want to put across to y'all. In my completely biased opinion, if you're wrestling between one school and Spelman, I would say pick Spelman any day. But all bias aside, there are things about this institution that really need to be taken into consideration before you commit. It's a discussion that you need to have with your family and with yourself. You just need to think about how much you're willing to put you and your family through in order to get this Spelman education. I know that whatever y'all decide, y'all will do great. If you're Spelman 23 and you will be at Spellbound in a couple weeks, definitely enjoy the experience. It is what you make of it, and for a lot of people that is what pushes them to say yes. Just know that I am rooting for each and every one of y'all. If anybody from Spelman 23 and beyond has questions, y'all have my social media. Until then, I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.